behind the mask.
My good people, my Auburn people, my War Eagle family, we got our guy. Yes, sir. We got our guy. Stand up. Blow the whistle. We got our guy. Alex Golesh, stand up. Yes, sir. And look, as you remember, I took you back a few weeks ago, and I told you I went through a list of candidates. And when I got to his name, this is what I said.
Alex Golesh.
Very possible candidate. Did I know he was gonna be there? No, I didn't. Thought it was gonna be John Summerall or even Brent Key, but that's okay because Alex, you are exactly where you need to be, right? You are. I look at the resume, and let's start with that there. My good Auburn people, let me take you through his resume because everybody is saying okay, man, I know of him, but I really don't know what's happening. Well, let me catch you up because we got plenty of time. It's the off season. We ain't got nothing else to do. We got time to sit around and figure out what name goes where, and if it does go in that place, we got time to figure out, does it really work? And that's exactly what we're about to do. That's the reason why I had to come on and just talk to my good people, because you deserve it. So, what I know of Alex Golesh, let me go through my notes. Number one, right? The first thing I think about is recruiting. And a few weeks ago, I said there's several players that we got to keep in order for us to really get to where we want to go. And I'm going to start on the defensive side. Bias! Because your boy is biased. And you know why. Xavier Atkins. He was about to get up out of there. But now that we retained DJ Durkin, he's staying. Catalyst. Important to what we are going to do and what we'll continue to do on the defensive side. So, Xavier, shout out to you. Even if, we don't even talk about that. You stayed, and you're exactly where you need to be, and we appreciate that, all right? We good on that side. DJ Durkin, huge. One of the top defensive coordinators in the nation, if not the best assistant coach in the nation. Up for the Broyles Award, best top assistant in college football. Rightfully so. And you know what? He's in the hunt. He decided to stay. Come on with Alex Golesh, his staff. So I'm excited about that because I don't care how many points that you can score. If you can't stop nobody, what we talking about? We wasting tape right now. And I don't believe in wasting tape and wasting time, right? So I'm just being honest with you. We got DJ back, and we got more than a chance. Back to this camera. Okay, why do I like Alex Golesh? Number one, it all boils down to what I said a few weeks ago, recruiting. You got to have a high level of acumen when it comes to recruiting. You got to keep and retain the guys that you already have. I think of Cam Coleman, who I said a few weeks ago, check, he's staying. Let's make sure he continues to stay. We got to get out of the transfer portal window. I think we'll be able to do that. Xavier Atkins, another guy who is huge into what we do on the defensive side. Baller. I like X. I like X. Really like what you're doing, X. We gonna talk soon. Trust me on that. But when we talk about the recruiting side, it's important because you got to bring in young guys, and then you have to be able to develop them. But you bring in guys from other places, from the recruitment standpoint, And that allows you to be able to implement the implementation of what you want to do right now, not 6 weeks from now, but right now. And I think Auburn, John Cohen, you did that. I give you a hand, give you salute on that. And I look back at Alex Golesh at his stops at other places. I think about Iowa State. I think about Toledo. You demonstrated that, the ability at the recruiting coordinator to bring in great talent. See, I did my homework. And I'm here to let my people know that. So, with that being said, for recruiting acumen, that's what I call it, the knowledge and then being able to have the implementation of it. Alex Golesh, you deserve a whistle blown. Number 2, let's move down to SEC experience. Everybody, I got a lot of questions. People were asking me, man, you think he'll be able to win in the SEC? You think he can do it? Of course he can. How do I know? I know because he was in Tennessee in 2022. Hendon Hooker. Yeah, you remember him. He lit everybody up. He led the nation in scoring. He was top 10 in offenses back-to-back years. And so when we look at what he was able to do in the SEC, and keep in mind now, nobody had no intentions on Tennessee being explosive as we now know that they are. That was on his clock. So Alex Golesh, he did that. He knew exactly what he was doing. And being able to have that recruiting acumen, to understand what players can fit where, and to have a quarterback to also fit in that puzzle of the scheme. That's the reason why I would like to think that Tennessee led back-to-back years in scoring offense, top 10 anyway, and they led the nation in total offense in 2022. Very high power. I had the opportunity to really look at them, working with SEC Network at that time, and I saw it. And it was no rhyme. Listen, no rhyme for reason for anything that they did. It was very strategic. I was impressed as a defensive guy, so I got to take my hat off to him, or take my hat off to him, or even, you know what? I'm going to stop, pause for a minute, and acknowledge that we got to blow the whistle for that. Top offense. Alex Golesh, you that dude. You that dude that we've been waiting on. Not to put any pressure on you, but that's just like, that's what we needed. The offense has been abysmal. Ranked in the bottom third of the, not SEC, bottom third of the nation, man. We need productivity, and we need it bad. To be honest with you, I can't even think of when is the last time we had a high-power offense. I don't know. It's been, and the reason why is, I can't remember. It hasn't been within the 5 years. I can tell you that. So when we talk about that and I think about that, I think about the coaches that we've been through. Gus Malzahn, Brian Harsin. I also think about, most recently, Hugh Freeze. And now we are where we are. So when I tell you, I feel like this move was made in a proper manner to correct what we haven't had in so many years. We got an offensive guy who can be able to turn the tables on what we're doing. Deuce Knight, I see you. Deuce, I saw what you did. Oh, yeah, we all saw what you did, Deuce. And everybody else knows that we have Deuce. Now you team him up with Alex Golesh. Oh, my God. Come on, man. What are we talking about? The extensive, another thing that really jumps out to me is the experience and the grinder mentality that Alex has. You got to look at where he came from. And look, I'm not here to sell any dreams or anything like that at all. But I'm here to give you the facts that you may or may not know. He started out the mud now. Russian immigrant, came over young, student assistant from a young age. And when you're a student assistant, you have a tendency to see things that nobody else sees. And that means from scratch. Even when you introduce a play to a player, you know what that player says? Coach, I don't get it. And that's where Alex excelled. And that's how he was able to get up in the ranks of not only developing talent, but being able to teach talent at a young age and help them grow. Because as they grew, he grew. And he helped those kids grow by being a student assistant, being a GA, all of that's the same thing. And the value that comes with that is for all of my people who, like, I know it's a lot more people that don't know exactly what goes into that role. Let's settle down. Tranquilo. Chill. Relax. Take a minute. Your boy got you. Let me tell you why. When you're a student assistant, you have to be a grinder. And this is something that you can never fake. This is something that you can never imitate, not even duplicate more than one time. Because you have to be genuine to that rub. You have to love football. And that's the reason why I really like this hire from that aspect. Because you got to have a guy who loves ball, regardless of whatever may happen, he's going to be in there and find a solution. Because at the end of the day, I want you to know this, my good people. It's never what the coaches know coming into a game plan, coming into a game. It's what the players know that the coaches teach them. And Alex has excelled at that. So I'm here to let you know he understands the assignment. He knows it's not what we know as coaches, because you ain't going to go out there and bust a grape. You're not going to even play it down. But it's what your players know, and that is what's going to help you be successful. That's the reason why I like this. And ultimately, I think what's one thing that a lot of high school kids, when they come to college, they don't remember or even keep this close to mind. You have to turn into what you want to turn into. And this does not require you putting on Dorothy heels from The Wizard of Oz and clicking your heels 3 times and thinking you're going to be that. You have to be developed. And that's the reason why I can truly say he left South Florida. He left South Florida because he did such a wonderful job of developing guys. I think of, from a developmental standpoint, Hendon Hooker at Tennessee, from one year to the next. I think of Charlie Kohler, right, at South Florida. So when you look at these key players and you see what they did from one year to the next, the developmental process was in place. And they had a plan, and they executed the plan. And it clearly showed from that. And once again, when I see this hire, that's something that we need, because it's only a few Cam Colemans that have ever played the game. It's only a few Takeo Spikes that have played the game. You got more guys who need to be developed. And that's the value, or the value add, that he brings to the table when we look at what Auburn offense needs. Not tomorrow, but right now. Look, bottom line is this. Explosive offensive mind. We already know that. Let me go into my notes, man, just to remind you of what, I got. One of the top offensive minds in college football. His offense consistently ranks as one of the best. Cool. You know that. I know that. But this is the kicker, though. Let's go back to South Florida. These cats are down there knocking off teams. I'm talking about like nationally ranked teams. They knocking them off or even playing close. So his time at South Florida, he took a program that just had won 4 games in 3 seasons prior to his arrival and engineered a rapid rebuild. Rapid meaning super fast, right? Leading them to 23 wins over 3 seasons and a 9-3 campaign year in 2025. So, once again, we're talking about Alex Golesh, the head coach, offensive guru. I'm feeling a lot of vibes of somebody who's very innovative, someone who understands how to get the max potential out of every player. That's Alex Golesh, head coach of your Auburn Tigers. And let's get behind this man. Look, we did everything wrong in years past. Why not? I would love to say everybody's doing it, but everybody's not doing Alex Golesh. They're not. Because he's Auburn's property, baby. And Alex, we're behind you. So, with that being said, you know what? I saw the press conference and you talked about how much it meant to you to bring the fans with you, how much it meant to you to have the alumni with you, how much it meant to you to have former players with you. So I think it's a time for us to go behind the mask, Alex. Coach Alex, that's what we'll do. We'll see, can we get Coach Alex Golesh on the Behind the Mask podcast, and we're going to have a sit-down, real conversation. No press conference style, sit down and real. And we don't talk ball. Those are my thoughts on Coach Alex Golesh. I believe in him. And look, I know a lot of y'all are saying, because I said the same thing, this is another year of sit down and wait. Yeah. But I got a good feeling about this one. I'm left with hope. I believe that we can get out of this rut. And I mean like fast. Looking back at everything that he's done, how he's fixed offenses, and we got the pieces in place. Man, stop playing. We're there. We're close. So with all of that being said, the work has to go into it. But do I think we have the right person as far as leading us and taking advantage of what we already have in place? Absolutely, I do. We retained DJ Durkin, the defensive coordinator. That is huge. Huge. Capital H, huge. So with that being said, man, stay tuned. We got plenty to talk about. Make sure you follow the podcast. And if you are following, make sure you tell a friend to tell a friend at the BTM podcast. All right, so before I sign off, I just want to leave you with this. And I want to know if you feel the same way that I do. I'm sick and tired of not being in the SEC championship. So my challenge to my Auburn people, my challenge to Alex Golesh, my challenge is to the Auburn football team. Man, can we make a run? We got the pieces. I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired. And if I feel this way, I know damn well my Auburn people feel this way. War f***ing Eagle. It's time to go. What we waiting on? Let's get it. Get out.